And this was from the 22nd of January. A former Colorado Bureau of Investigation DNA analyst has been criminally charged over a year after CBI officials first learned about possibly mishandled or manipulated evidence. Yvonne Missy Woods, 64, has been charged with over 100 separate charges related to forgery, perjury, attempting to influence a public servant, and cybercrime. She'll be tried in Jefferson County Court and was booked into the Jefferson County Jail on a $50,000 bond Tuesday, court records show. In addition to the CBI's internal investigation, the agency also asked the South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation to conduct an outside investigation. On Tuesday, CBI also said it hired a Wisconsin-based consulting firm to assess CBI's forensic services and operations. So that was from January 22nd, and there hasn't been much news on the CBI situation since then, so it's reasonable to assume that corrective action is taking place, and we'll know more once official reports and data are released from those investigations. Now, I want to read the email that I received about a month and a half ago, which is related to the CBI investigation, but also has significance on a broader scale. Again, this is an email from an audience member who specifically wish to remain anonymous. Dear Mr. Collins, I am a prosecuting attorney with significant experience in working with experts from our state forensic laboratory. I am concerned about recent lab failures, such as the one in Colorado involving Yvonne Woods. When such failures happen in accredited laboratories, to what degree should we expect accreditation to prevent major failures or misconduct? And when they do happen in an accredited laboratory, what is it about accreditation that allows the error or misconduct to happen anyway? What is the point of accreditation if these kinds of things can happen under the radar? I would appreciate hearing your thoughts on this. Okay, so obviously, a very fair question, and it requires us to have some understanding about forensic laboratory accreditation and what it can do and what it can't do. And I'm also going to share an observation of my own that I think may be causing a problem in forensic science accreditation. So first, accreditation is granted to forensic science laboratories by private organizations who base their accreditation on standards that are internationally accepted. Accreditation is not a government program or a government regulation of any sort. It's a private enterprise that forensic laboratories pay for. But in order to be accredited, each forensic laboratory has to demonstrate conformance to the appropriate standards. And so there are off-site inspections of documents and records, and there are on-site inspections of the facilities and interviews of scientists and laboratory managers, and of course, reviews of scientists' casework and things like that to some degree. So it's not an easy process, and it requires a lot of effort on the part of forensic laboratories to become accredited and, of course, remain accredited. And then after receiving an award of accreditation, with only a few exceptions, this award remains active for 4 years. So that's forensic laboratory accreditation in a nutshell. And I will include links to in the program notes to the two main accrediting bodies in forensic science for those who may be interested in that. One of the reasons that the Yvonne Woods case is so troubling is that it occurred in an accredited, respected state-operated forensic laboratory. Therefore, this is a different kind of scenario than what we saw in, for example, the Annie Dukin and Sonia Farrat cases in Massachusetts. The Annie Dukin case in particular was one of the most significant forensic science scandals in history, possibly the most significant in history. But because the CBI laboratory where Yvonne Woods was employed was in fact accredited, it invites much larger public policy questions and considerations that need to be confronted. And so the email I shared with you is relevant because so many criminal justice professionals, such as prosecutors, defenders, judges, and juries, depend on a laboratory's accreditation as a sign that the laboratory can be trusted. While accreditation might be an excellent framework in which to prevent malpractice, does it or can it prevent misconduct? And that's a very important question. The short answer is perhaps yes, accreditation can prevent and detect misconduct. And I think it would be very safe to speculate that without accreditation, acts of misconduct would be more widespread and more of an endemic problem, especially in the era of drug legalization and opioid addiction, which has led to more than one forensic scientist being arrested for tampering with evidence and consuming drugs submitted to their laboratories. Accreditation, without question, will make it much harder for someone to get away with this. And so that kind of behavior is rendered much less likely to happen because of accreditation. And I don't think that that's even in dispute.